Okay, everybody, this is the final video that I'm gonna explain. I just want to get into depth. Okay, so right here is Pete Davidson. That's Jimmy Fallon. So I know both of them. Pete Davidson was Howard Peterson. We were both staff members to President Trump. Now, I don't have my insurance. I don't have my driver's license. I don't have my social security. I don't have any credit cards or any banking information. I went to 2900 Jerusalem Avenue in Wantagh, New York, to the Temple of Barim in flip-flops. Because of what was going on with Pete Davidson and John Gita. And the Gita and Gardner family. What we went through in this BS of how people related to Kim Kardashian's relatives and Kendall Jenner's relatives. I'm sorry, Kylie, it's not your fault. I don't blame you, but your cousin's relatives that are in New York think that this is a joke. You don't have those licenses. The Gita and Gardner family doesn't have the licenses. Pete Davidson and I are biracial. He's Jewish. I'm Jewish. You don't have the licenses anymore. So why, I'm going to just say this, Pete's information, just like his social security, his all of this stuff was given over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It was all given to Homeland Security. You have all of our identifications. You have my car. You have my keys. You have my locker box. You have all of the records. What exactly are you doing? Because tomorrow, I'm going to just say this because I want to make this video. Pete Davidson and I need to actually speak to Interpol. We need to speak to MI6 because your relatives and you in the Justice Department are being held responsible. You in Department of Defense are being held responsible. I'm a Marine and a Navy SEAL veteran. He was in the Marines. We're in the military. What are you doing with half of our belongings, half of our stuff? You have it in debt collecting facilities. You have it in hospitals. What is half of your stuff? What is half of the military or taxpayer stuff doing in a debt collecting facility? Why is Vanguard and BlackRock have all of our personal possessions in which they're not in business? They're not operating without a license. President Trump and Vice President Vance already told the people in the Justice Department they don't have a license. So what exactly are you doing? Tomorrow, I am requiring the Justice Department or Department of Defense or the President himself. I would like to have John and Pete Davidson go over to Interpol and MI6 to actually go through a version of interviewing where we go with our lawyers and our relatives as well. We do not want to stay in the state. You have foreign aid money that does not belong to you. Your whole Justice Department, your whole system was involved in a criminal investigation prior to the pandemic. And you're allowing banks, you're allowing institutions to get away with genocide and vehicular manslaughter charges. You're allowing people to go into schools when they are required to have a HEPA filter and systems to begin with to check and verify everything. You are not following the chain of command. You're going against what the European governments are doing. The European governments do not consider the United States a constitutional state. They consider the United States a tyranny government, and I proved it in court. John and Pete Davidson proved it in court. We didn't just prove it in just New York. We proved it in Connecticut. We proved it in New Jersey. We proved it in Arizona. We proved it in Utah and California. The other states followed with us. So what exactly are you doing? Because you're not doing anything about it. All you're doing is talking. All you're doing is talk, and you're doing nothing about it. And it's ridiculous. I don't consider this government, I consider this government a tyranny government. And when it's a tyranny government to begin with, those other countries find it a tyranny government. And they don't trust us anymore. So I'm doing a version of a whistleblowing moment right now because I am not letting this go past. Those people in the European government have had enough. You're going to see people start getting really pissed off because our relatives are in Europe. They do not want any of these institutions being back in business. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Because I'm warning you. This is a final warning.